This one is from one of the books I got when I first started playing. I was impressed with this puzzle. Is the one I remember the most from this book, as I learned kind of the things that the pieces could do when they worked together. And this is one of the puzzles that stood out to me, to how the pieces could work together. The name of the book is How to Win in the Middle Game of Chess by Horowitz. All right, so this is white to play and win. And if you don't know what win means, it doesn't necessarily mean checkmate. It means you want to force a sequence that by the end of that sequence, you could reach a position where if two perfect computers were playing each other, the one side would win every time. That's a winning position. Now, when you say play and win, that doesn't mean that none of the lines are checkmate, but it does mean that you're not forcing a checkmate in the near future, even though there might be, as I said, some in some of the lines. But some of my students get confused when they hear play and win. They think that means checkmate. But usually if it's checkmate, they'll say checkmate. They'll say white to play in checkmate, or white to play in checkmate in 5 moves or less, or something like that. But this is just white to play and win. Okay, when you're looking at a puzzle, a tactical puzzle, play and win, the first move is almost always going to be a check, a capture, or a threat. So let's list all of white's checks. White can play queen takes d8 check, queen c7 check, queen e5 check, rook c8 check, and queen takes a7 check. And it turns out the one that works is rook to c8 check. All right, so black has 2 legal moves. If he plays king takes b7, then white will simply play rook takes d8, and now queen e1 is not checkmate because the queen is on a5 is guarding that square. So black would lose a rook in that line. So black would therefore play the other line, which is rook takes c8. And now if white plays b takes c8 and gets queen, then white's just down a bishop for a pawn, so to speak. If he tries to check then and win the bishop, black can either put the bishop or the queen in the way, and black remains up a bishop. So taking the rook, surprisingly, is not correct. You play the move queen takes a7 check. At first, this doesn't look safe, but let's look at the line where he doesn't take the queen. If he plays king to c7, then white takes the rook, gets a queen, double check, and when black takes, white will play queen takes d7. And this is what I meant earlier about a winning position. It's not checkmate right away, but white has a queen and 2 pawns against the bishop, and eventually he will checkmate. This is an easy win. All right, so after rook c8 check, rook takes c8, queen takes a7 check, we'd expect black to play king takes a7, and again, not b takes c8 queen because of queen to e1 checkmate, but instead b takes c8 and white gets a knight, forking the king and queen. King gets out of check, knight takes e7, and with best play here, the knight and the 2 pawns can beat the bishop. All right, so let's go through that again. Rook c8 check, the main line is rook takes c8, and now the pretty and surprising queen takes a7 check, king takes a7, b takes c8, knight check, king moves somewhere, knight takes e7, and white wins.